American workers are losing jobs because of H-1B visa bill.
I was given the news that in 90 days, my job was over, and I had to train my replacement.
We need high-skilled workers in this country.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that I'm, for example, MAGA, of Make America Great Again.
I know the H-1B very well. And second of all, I think it's very important to say,
It was the most humiliating and demoralizing thing I've ever gone through in my life.
America's new civil war is here, but it's not what you think. This time, it's not Republican versus Democrat. It's Republican versus Republican, MAGA versus MAGA. And at the center of the storm, Indian Americans, immigration, big tech controlled by Indian Americans, and the unraveling of Donald Trump's new government that also has a lot of Indian American presence. Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. Let's start with the spark that lit this fire. Laura Loomer, a polarizing figure in MAGA circles, has declared open war on some of the movement's most high-profile names, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. This internal feud is tearing the MAGA coalition apart and raising serious questions about its future. Take this week's controversy over Sri Ramakrishnan, an Indian-American entrepreneur appointed by President-elect Donald Trump as a senior policy advisor on AI, that is, artificial intelligence. Loomer unleashed a barrage of incendiary comments, labeling Krishnan's appointment as, and I quote, a betrayal of American workers. She accused him of pushing for H-1B visas and called Indian immigrants third world invaders. Her rhetoric has drawn widespread condemnation, but within the MAGA base, it's also found traction among those already skeptical of Trump's evolving alliances. On social media, Loomer called out Trump directly, saying the MAGA movement was built to protect American workers, not Silicon Valley billionaires. She has threatened to boycott the 2026 midterms if the movement doesn't take a harder stance against high-skilled immigration. But Loomer's wrath didn't stop there. She turned her sights on Elon Musk, accusing him of being compromised by Chinese interests. Musk, who recently unveiled his Department of Government Efficiency, dismissed Loomer as a troll, prompting an escalation of attacks. Loomer claimed Musk's policies favor tech billionaires over American STEM graduates and accused him of using his influence to erode MAGA values. In response, Musk doubled down, stating MAGA is about progress, not regression. Ramaswamy, meanwhile, has become a lightning rod for criticism over his pro-immigration stance. He ignited a firestorm with a tweet accusing American culture of celebrating mediocrity over excellence. He argued that this mindset has stifled the US's ability to produce world-class talent in fields like engineering. Ramaswamy's critique extended to popular media, where he lamented the glorification of prom queens and athletes over academically accomplished individuals. According to Ramaswamy, America's struggle with mediocrity lies at the intersection of culture and ambition. A society once lauded for innovation and excellence now often prioritizes superficial accolades over substantive achievements. This cultural drift, where celebrity and athletic prowess overshadow intellectual milestones, threatens the nation's competitive edge. By celebrating figures like the prom queen or reality TV stars over scientists, engineers, and thinkers, America risks undervaluing the very talents that drive progress and prosperity. Addressing this requires a national reckoning, a cultural shift that places academic rigor, critical thinking, and innovation back at the forefront, ensuring the country's future remains bright in an increasingly globalized world. He called for a Sputnik moment to spur innovation and prioritize critical thinking. Haley responded swiftly, defending American workers and culture. She declared, "There is nothing wrong with American workers or American culture. We should be investing in and prioritizing Americans, not foreign workers." Her remarks resonated with conservatives who view Ramaswamy's comments as elitist and out of touch. This exchange underscores a growing divide within the GOP. Ramaswamy's call for embracing high-skilled immigration clashes with Haley's emphasis on nurturing domestic talent. As the debate intensifies, it raises questions about the future direction of the Republican Party and its stance on immigration and cultural values. Loomer's attacks have prompted some MAGA supporters to question whether tech leaders like Musk and Ramaswamy truly represent their interests. The backlash has left the MAGA movement divided. While some view Musk and Ramaswamy as visionaries, others see them as betraying the movement's America First principles. The feud reflects deeper tensions within MAGA over immigration policy and the role of foreign workers in the U.S. economy.
It's so sad when we lose people from Harvard, MIT, from the greatest schools, and lesser schools that are phenomenal schools also. And what I wanted to do, and I would have done this, but then we had to solve the COVID problem because that came in and, sort of dominated for a little while, as you perhaps know. But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country. And you know more stories than I do, but I know of stories where people graduated from a top college or from a college and they desperately wanted to stay here. They had a plan for a company, a concept, and they can't. They go back to India, they go back to China, they do the same basic company in those places, and they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people, and it could have been done here. And a bigger example is you need a pool of people to work for your companies. You have great companies, and they have to be smart people. Not everybody can be less than smart. You need brilliant people. And we force the brilliant people, the people that graduate from college, the people that are number one in their class from the best colleges, you have to be able to recruit these people and keep the people. It was such a big deal. Somebody graduates at the top of the class. They can't even make a deal with the company because they don't think they're going to be able to stay in the country. That is going to end on day one.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I think we all wholeheartedly agree with that.
This conflict highlights a growing fracture within MAGA. On one hand, figures like Musk and Ramaswamy advocate for a more inclusive economic strategy. On the other, Loomer and her allies push for a hardline, America-first approach that leaves no room for compromise. The stakes couldn't be higher. Trump's appointment of Krishnan, intended to bolster his tech policies, has instead exposed deep divisions within his base. Trump's camp has so far remained silent on Loomer's comments, but the silence speaks volumes. Is this a calculated move to avoid alienating his base or a sign of a crumbling coalition? MAGA supporters are now questioning their loyalty. Some have taken to social media to voice concerns that Trump's government is selling out to the Silicon Valley. Others argue that Loomer's extreme rhetoric is fracturing the movement from within. But the real question is, can Trump manage this civil war brewing within his ranks? One theory suggests that Trump's appointments and policies are designed to appeal to a broader audience beyond MAGA, especially moderates and independents. However, the strategy risks alienating his own support base, many of whom feel betrayed by what they see as a shift away from America First principle. Observers say this feud reflects a deeper ideological divide within the movement. On the one hand, there's a push for pragmatic policies that recognize global economic realities, but on the other, a demand for unwavering loyalty to nationalist ideals. Even Elon Musk, a latecomer to the MAGA fold, isn't immune to criticism. Loomer's accusations that he's compromised by Chinese interests have sparked a wave of conspiracy theories, further muddying the waters. So where does this leave the US? Trump's government, still in its infancy, is already showing cracks. The MAGA movement, once a united force, is now grappling with its own identity crisis. As Loomer threatens to boycott the midterms, the risk of a fractured base looms large. Meanwhile, Musk and Ramaswamy continue to advocate for policies that could redefine MAGA's future. The internal conflict raises a crucial question. Can the MAGA movement survive its own contradictions? Or will the very divisions that made it dynamic ultimately lead to its downfall? Thank you for watching Statecraft. Goodbye and take care.